Over the last week, we've been flooded with comments about altcoin season and the fact that it's right around the corner. Even I've talked about it in my recent videos. But how do I and a lot of other people know that altcoin season is coming? And what are the signs that we really need to pay attention to know what is happening in the crypto world? Well, that's what you're about to find out. Well, altcoin season is when the top altcoins, the ones that are more primed for fundamentals, narratives, community, etc., they start to just absolutely go parabolic. And everyone in crypto that holds these, they tend to see some sizable in price, and they think they're geniuses. It is basically genius season. Some will sell near the top, some will just diamond hand that forever and not do very well. But basically, we've got some indicators that can show us where we are in terms of altcoin season. And everything will be linked below. We've got the CoinMarketCap Altcoin Season Index, and this is really cool. It bases on the performance of the top 100 altcoins relative to Bitcoin over the past 90 days, with detailed charts and metrics for tracking market trends and altcoin dominance. Essentially, when this line comes over 75, we are in altcoin season. But even as we start to grow, we are still going to see some sizable moves. And we will get here probably sometime later on this year. You can already see like the top 100 coins performance over 90 days. Bitcoin's here, basically like such a huge number have actually outperformed it. Of course, not every single one has. Last week we had 50, so it was a little bit more fun for altcoins. And then last month, it was certainly Bitcoin season at 23. We're kind of neutral here, but I would say we're leaning more towards this way. For a little bit of context, our yearly high was December 4th. It was 87. That's when the amount of money that was rotated into all these tokens, you can have a look on CoinGecko, was quite euphoric. It just didn't last because we weren't at the right stage in the cycle. We've got this other one from blockchaincenter.net, and it's saying it is not altcoin season yet. 75 is where we want to be, but we can see that we had this peak up here at 59, and the last time it was euphoric was December. So same kind of vibes, but this is Bitcoin season for sure, and this is altcoin season. Another thing to potentially keep in mind, and we'll monitor it as we get closer to this number, but over 75, you've got limited amount of time to take profits before you see money rotate into Bitcoin. CoinGlass has a good one. It's the same deal again. And when we get in this blue zone, this is when we're starting to have fun. Last time we were there, as we mentioned, December last year. But CoinGlass has gone and aggregated all these different indicators that essentially tells us, should we be selling our precious tokens? And right now we are 100% hold. And I will update you on this like weekly or thereabouts. Because when things start to come over here to the sell, that's when taking some chips off the table could be a really good idea. But I do think the market cap in crypto is going far higher than what it currently is right now. And we're still 100% hold your tokens. We've got a couple more things to show you. Bitcoin's going to continue to go up, and we base this on M2 money supply, which is all the money in the world, basically. And more money gets printed and it gets issued and it gets used to buy back stocks and whatnot. And Trump is highly likely going to do what he did in the previous presidency. So in 2017, he went and just injected money into the economy, and he wanted lower rates. And lower rates means you can print money easier and people go and buy more houses, and it's more euphoric. It's better for markets in a sense. It does come with like crashes, of course, and we need to time ourselves correctly. But the point being, when M2 money supply moves up, Bitcoin's price tends to as well. It's not like a perfect correlation, but you can see that it's decent. And this is covered by Raoul Paul, who's a macro investor, and he's very good, and he's got a team of people. And I think it is as simple as this. As long as there's more money coming into the world, our crypto projects will go up until they hit a point when we need to be taking some profits. We have another chart that's super important, and this is the market cap of Tether as dominance. The higher percentage it goes, it's like the total crypto market cap and the portion that's just Tether. And we want that to be low, because it means as it breaks down, as it gets lower, then people are using their Tether to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Pingu, Bonk, etc. When it's high, it's very, very bearish. Things are not looking very exciting. And what I want to point out here is we have this 7-year resistance line. So this basically is very, very low. And there's more and more USDT printed every year. But as we come down to here, we see euphoria, proper euphoria in the markets. So at this point, the markets are boring. No one's really caring about crypto. And then as it starts to come on down, Bitcoin goes higher and higher, Solana goes higher and higher, and then we often get rejected off this. Now, if we can get a breakdown below this, that's when we also get more euphoria. And this is what happened last year in December. And we had it again in January when Trump took office, and then he just came out with tariffs, and then it went up crazily. But the good thing is we're starting to break down again, and we are below this level, which is very, very good. And we're below this level of resistance as well, which is now flipped support. So if we can come on down further to here, and maybe even further, that would be very, very good for our bags. And we can see that we came down to this level in the last cycle as well. And we can still come down here, to be perfectly honest. We could come down even lower. The final chart to show you is the market cap of Bitcoin dominance. This is a range of how much of the market cap is Bitcoin. And it's been moving steadily up for quite some time. Steadily up. And when we see these breakdowns, this is when money goes into other projects. Like this is once again December last year, January last year. This is when it goes into the altcoins. And we've now started to break down. We've broken down. There's a bit of resistance. We want to break down further. But as this breaks down further and further, this is when the money goes into altcoins. And for us to even break the trend, this is exciting because we wouldn't think that we're bearish for altcoins until this came back into the trend, to be perfectly honest. So we're doing fine. And just to illustrate what happens when things break down and what happens with our altcoins, have a look at this. This is a previous cycle. Bitcoin dominance is crazy at 73%. We haven't reached that this cycle. We were like 66% or so. And it just came right on down. It ends up coming down to like 39%, maybe even a little bit lower. And this time here was fantastic for altcoins. This is the final chart I will show you, and it's super important. So I hope you've stayed until the end. Stick around. This is vitally important. The market cap of BTC dominance, which we've discussed, is shown over the last few years. And below, we've got the total 3. This is the market cap of all the crypto, but we take away Bitcoin, Ethereum, the two biggest, and stable coins. So it's purely altcoins. Have a look here. We've got this line here. And then shortly after, we start to see the market cap of altcoins increase rapidly. The dominance of Bitcoin break down. This lasted 427 days. The actual peak, of course, was at the very end of 2017. But there were still opportunities to be had for a little bit longer until this period around about here. And then Bitcoin started to grind up, or at least go sideways, and altcoins just fell off a cliff. Then this happened again. Bitcoin started to break down and altcoins started to go up incredibly. They came up, they dipped down, and they even went a little bit higher in some sense. And then they started to bleed once again, and then Bitcoin started to rally on up. And now we're thinking we're at the same situation. But look at this. This lasts for 385 days. Now, we don't know how long this is going to last, but there are people out there saying we've got 2 months left of the bull market, 3 months. I'm of the belief that we have a lot of fun for the rest of the year, and potentially even some fun for next year. So we're just trying to point out that once it starts to break down, it can break down for quite some time, which means altcoins will start to have their day. And I believe they've already started to have their day. I hope I was clear. If you have any questions, put them below. And if you want to find out what the best altcoins are, you can watch one of these videos here.